we are encouraged to prioritize music and rehearsals and practicing and all of that over the rest of our lives. And so if we don't take care of ourselves, like do something outside of music, for goodness sake, like anything outside of music, because your brain needs that break. And you need sleep in order for your brain to process information. And, you know, I'm not saying like take the entire summer off of practicing, but like don't say no to things outside of music because you feel tied down by the need to practice. Like the trumpet will still be there, but like you got to live your life. And my undergrad, I had the mentality, it was very toxic for me in my undergrad, but I had the mentality that if I wasn't doing something to better myself as a musician every waking moment of the day, then I was a failure. And that's silly, but that's what I thought. So
can I interrupt you just there and point something out you just said there? Because that was also one of the big lessons that I learned post-injury, right? Was that, oh, look, I've got my entire life just being neglected outside of the trumpet. But the two things. So first of all, I think we need to redefine what makes us better as a musician, like in the actual musicianship, because if we're going to talk about science, right, and the studies and stuff like that, everything that I've read, like legitimate scientific studies say that taking breaks in between, like even repetitions of things, does like up to 20 to 25 times more. It's 20 to 25 times more effective than just doing it over and over and over and over again, right? Without any rest. Not only is that bad for you physically, but it's not doing you any favors mentally, right? Mm-hmm. Even though we have this whole like, we have to do it 5 times in a row before it's in there, it's stuck in there, which may be true. Like there may be some truth to that, but giving ourselves the gaps in between those repetitions, that's part of what it means for me of like redefining like what helps me become a better musician, including and especially investing time into these other parts of my life, because that's going to give my brain, as you said, the time to internalize those other topics. So anyway, I interrupted you, so please.
I don't even know what I was talking about, but you just sparked another thought. So I'm going to go off of that one.
Please.
Taking breaks like in between your reps while you're practicing is super important, because so many people will just, and I do that too. I'm so good at practicing inefficiently, and I'll just take a passage and I'll just play it over and over and over and over and over again. And I'll make the same mistake over and over and over again. But when I finally play the passage, stop, think about what I heard, what I want to hear, and then make that connection of like, okay, what can I try to do to change the outcome? It's like the definition of insanity, right? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But that's how so many of us practice, because I don't know, when we were kids, it's always like, okay, you got to do it 5 times perfect, like you said, but there's no thinking involved in between. It's just like, bop, 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 do it. So something that I really work on with, especially my younger students, is I get them to reflect on like what they're hearing. And I think that's an important skill to have, because same thing as I said before with musicians versus athletes, like you see your lessons teacher once a week. Every other moment you are alone with yourself and you're practicing. So you have to learn how to listen to yourself and how to analyze what you're doing, so that instead of spending an hour practicing a passage over and over and over again without thinking, instead you'll probably be able to get through that passage maybe in 20 minutes of like actual like effective, efficient practicing. So yeah, it's another thing that I'm really, really big on, is like, you do not need to be practicing trumpet 4 hours a day. You can get by with practicing like 2 hours as long as you're like mentally there, you've got the focus, you have a plan set up. So many people will just like, well, it's time to practice trumpet. And they're just like scales. Oh, I'm going to do some Clark studies. Oh, I'm going to do some of this and do some of that. It's like, but what are you focusing on? What are you targeting? What are your weaknesses? Because chances are the things that you're practicing, you're already good at. So we want to practice the things that we're bad at, and we want to be okay with sounding bad at them for the beginning part. And then as they get better, then you can be like, oh, notice the progress, and you can celebrate the progress.
Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode of Trust the Process, the official podcast of Musician Unchained, the newest coaching program dedicated to helping musicians navigate and overcome injury. But before you go, I have a few quick ways you can stay connected and support our growing community. First of all, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a text with the link below and share your thoughts, questions, or just say hi. You can also check the show out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We also would love to see you in our Facebook support group, Trust the Process Podcast Injured Musician Support Group. If you found value in today's episode, consider making a donation to support our mission of empowering musicians worldwide. Every contribution helps us create more content and resources for you, so visit link number 2 below to support the mission. If you decide to donate, I'll send you my newest resource, the Injured Musician Toolkit, which is an ebook designed to give you tools to help you get through your injury. Subscribe to our newsletter to get exclusive insights, tips, sneak previews of episodes, and announcements straight to your inbox. Act now and I will send you a free gift. So sign up at www.musicianunchained.com/newsletter. And if you or someone you know would like to go deeper with me in the topics of injury and mindset, head over back to musicianunchained.com and check out the Let's Hang tab. As always, I want to thank Daniel Baldwin, my audio engineer, and my sister Dana Lovell for her help with the promotional materials. There is no podcast without them. But before I go, I want to tell you how much I deeply appreciate your time and support. You are not alone on this journey. There are musicians and educators out there who need this resource, and we need to get it to them. Together, we are breaking the chain of old habits and thought patterns that don't serve us anymore, and unchaining the potential within ourselves to face each challenge with strength and resilience. So, as I always say, keep on keeping on and keep trusting the process. Until next time.